Chapter 3 Flow. Zion is a 240-pound, 6'3" athlete, but running 3 miles at full speed down the city of Detroit with a 48-pound crown on makes Zion consider giving up. Zion lets out raspy pants as he jumps over a pothole, with Zach and Johnny close behind, swatting at him any time he lets up. Zion can't control his harsh panting. This was far worse than any football training he had ever done, and he is fighting a pointless battle. 48 pounds is simply too much for any human to hold. His speed dwindles. The chasing game is over. Zach and Johnny aggressively grab hold of Zion's 2 arms. Gripping tighter, Zion braces himself, only to find the 2 don't seem interested in an altercation. They just stare blankly at Zion, as if waiting to speak the right words. When suddenly Zach grabs hold of Zion's crown and starts typing on a miniature keypad on the ground's surface. Nothing happens at first as they stare blankly, but Zion suddenly gets a strong metal taste in his mouth and begins to wobble. His friends hold tight to make sure he doesn't fall. Zion is struggling to keep awake. The 2 focus on a direction and begin to force Zion to the way they found. Zion is aware, but he feels different. His stamina is soaring, but his mind seems blank. Although he does feel sickly, he can hear his inner consciousness fighting to stay awake, but can only focus on not vomiting deep within his mind. Zion's consciousness begins to slip, when all of a sudden Johnny's crown seems to catch on fire as it is pelted with round after round from an automatic rifle. The loud firing instantly shakes Zion awake. He had returned mentally, but he felt different. Zion focuses his eyes to see his Uncle Terry firing his AK-47 at Zach's crown, the only target that is safe to shoot. Zach's crown shrieks as it used Zach's hands and arms to stop the firing, the bullets just leaving the seemingly hollow bodies. However, any shot hitting the crown sends sparks and metal pieces everywhere. Zion takes cover to the ground to expose Johnny. 2 other men that Zion could not see at first pull shotguns out, and the 3 men begin opening fire at Zion's old friends. The men are shouting at the beasts, but Zion can't make out the words. The beasts run in opposite directions to avoid the firing, only to veer back towards Zion's heroes. Zion watches as the 3 men switch from firearms to bats and crowbars as the beasts lunge forward. Sparks are flying in every direction. The 2 are obviously too much for the men. The hard blows they deliver seem to just absorb into the flesh without phasing the menacing devils. Zion realizes the other 2 were good friends of his uncle, Tim Jones and Aldridge Wilson, 2 frequent visitors to his uncle's barber shop. Zion focuses and notices the multicolored pole. He laughs as he realized he collapsed right in front of his uncle's shop. "Lucky me," he says. Aldridge is sent flying into a car, denting it severely. Zion's eyes widen to see the other 2 running at his uncle and Tim. A battle Zion knows will be futile. Zion can only think of one way to help. The pursuers are obviously interested in Zion and are only defending their prey. Zion thinks quick as he stands up. He takes off running back the direction he came from. He looks back to notice that Johnny has diverted to his direction and was running fast after him. Zion smirks as he continues to run with newfound energy, happy his plan worked. Zion loops around cars to keep distance between him and Johnny. He looks over to Zach and his uncle's situation. The 3 burly men were like animals. Hard blows to the crown and body as Zach tries to keep up. Zach manages to hit back, but each second is met hard with non-stop blows. The sounds coming off the clashing metals are sharp and powerful. Zach grabs Zion's uncle by the neck and holds him in the air, but the other 2 wind back and hit the crown with a bat and crowbar at the same time, knocking the top half of the crown into the air. sparks and orange fluid spouting everywhere. The men pant hard and cheer. "That's right, bitch!" Terry yelled as he kicked the felled crown. Zach's body plops hard on the ground. Johnny manages to grab Zion's hoodie, halting the run. Johnny harshly corrects Zion's body, and they both look over to the uncle to see them all on the ground in obvious pain. "Get out of here!" Zion screams. Johnny quickly faces back at Zion to halt the command. Johnny lets out a metallic shrill as he picks up Zion and throws him over to the men. Zion rolls hard and ends up at his uncle's side. "You okay, bro?" Terry asks as he clenches his gut. Terry is dear to Zion. Terry was Zion's father's brother. And Zion's father died when he was young, so Terry always kept Zion and his mother above the water. Johnny pummels Terry, causing Terry to spit out blood. The sight is unbearable, watching your close family pummeled by something 4 times his strength. Terry's friends try to stop the onslaught, but are harshly shoved by Johnny's free hands, his orange veins bulging more than ever. Zion would do anything to prevent his uncle from dying. Zion gathers up all his strength, which seems to be surging, and takes off running again with hopes he will divert attention. Johnny follows Zion, but is dragging Terry by his neck at full speed. Terry is gasping and panting for breath, trying to pull off the hard hand. Zion can't get over how much better he feels. The crown becomes light on his head and his energy is through the roof. All his cuts and scrapes are gone, with no sight of blood. As Zion assesses his body, he notices an invigorating feeling in his right arm. He tastes the metal strongly and notices his arm begins to grow as he runs. He watches as the arm doubles in size. Bulging blue veins change his dark-skinned arm to a bluish tint, his biceps flaring. Johnny is about 30 feet away when Zion stops running. Johnny charges him at full speed. Zion looks at his feature. The taste leaves his mouth and Zion has one thing on his mind: revenge. He winds back his massive bicep. Johnny runs at him, snarling and evil as ever, with Terry smacking hard against the road every time Johnny leaps. Time slows as Johnny inches his way to Zion. Zion thought of all the memories he had with his old friends, the laughs they shared, the hardships they overcame. Zion's eyes fill with hate as he punches forward with all his might. The mighty blue arm connects with the crown at such speed that all that is heard is a loud crash as Zion's blue fist sends Johnny's crown off the stitched flesh into a car at 30 miles per hour. The alarm goes off. The grip is released around Terry's neck as both of them hit the ground. Zion's hateful eyes never return to normal. He just stands there, panting hard. The intense pressure in the arm releases as it returns to its normal appearance. New blue veins are scattering throughout Zion's arm, back, and chest. Soot stains remain on his fist from the hard punch. Zion looks to his fading uncle and reaches for him, only to pass out mid-movement, slamming hard on the concrete.